Robert was a wealthy man. He owned a big business. Robert had no son. Among his staff was a servant named John. John's job was to wash clothes and keep the house clean. He was known for being honest and hardworking. He was a reliable young boy. He would never laze about. He always obeyed his master. His master was pleased with him. One day, his master's wallet fell in the garden. It contained a lot of money. Luckily, John found the wallet, and he returned it to his master. He asked John what he wished for his honesty. John said,
"Sir, it is my deep desire to go to school in the company of other children. I want education. I don't want to be illiterate. I also like to read letters and newspapers."
Robert listened to him carefully. He admitted John to a school. John attended school daily. All the teachers were pleased with him. John worked hard at his studies. He would learn his lessons daily. He would never quarrel with anyone. He would always stand first in his class. Robert would always take care of him. He would bring fine clothes for him. John stood first in the 10th grade in the board examination. Robert looked at John and said,
"John, you have proven yourself to be not only honest and hardworking, but also incredibly talented."
John replied humbly,
"Thank you, sir. I am grateful for the opportunity you have given me."
Robert smiled and said,
"You have excelled in your studies, stood first in your class. I want you to be my son."
John's eyes widened in astonishment.
"Your son, sir?"
he asked, hardly believing his ears.
"Yes, John,"
Robert affirmed.
"I am handing over my business to you."
He adopted John as his son. John became his successor. The rich man got all his property registered in the name of John. Thus, John, the servant boy, became rich. Honesty brought him a handsome reward. When John grew up, he would always look after the poor children. He would distribute books and uniforms among them. Moral: being truthful and hardworking like John can lead to wonderful opportunities and blessings. When we are honest and dedicated, good things come our way. Integrity and diligence can lead to a bright future and enable us to help others in need. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Anthony. His parents were busy with work, so he had a kind nanny who looked after him. The nanny also had a little son named Luis, who was Anthony's friend. Anthony and Luis used to play together. Anthony had many toys. Whenever a new toy came on the market, Anthony forced his parents to buy it for him. Even if his parents were not willing, they had to buy it, much against their wishes. Otherwise, Anthony would start crying. He would mess up his room. He would shout,
"I want that toy!"
Anthony's friend Luis often noticed the way Anthony behaved. Luis decided to teach Anthony a lesson. One day, Luis invited Anthony to his own house. Anthony was excited because he had never been to Luis's place before. Luis's house was very small. It had only 2 rooms. Luis took out his toys. There were only 3 to 4 toys. Anthony was shocked. He asked Luis,
"Where are your other toys?"
Luis replied with a smile,
These are all the toys I have. Let us play with them. It will be lots of fun.
Soon, they started playing happily. After they had finished playing, Anthony started walking towards his house. He said to himself,
I don't need so many toys. I can have fun even with fewer toys.
That day, Anthony went home and told his parents,
Other toys. If Luis, with just 4 toys, can be happy, then even I can be happy with what I have.
Anthony's parents were very happy. They were proud of their son. Moral: happiness doesn't come from having lots of toys or things. True happiness comes from enjoying what you already have. Sometimes, seeing how others are content with less can teach us important lessons about gratitude and finding joy in simple pleasures. It's not about how much you have, but how you cherish what you have, which brings real happiness.